This is ABC15 Mornings.
More vaccine doses arriving in hospitals across the country.
We know that we're going to ship just a little bit short of 6 million doses out to the American people.
And a second vaccine from Moderna could soon be authorized by the FDA.
The Porch bandit picked him up and took him away.
He grabbed a chair and was gone, and now one grandmother on the edge of her seat, hoping somebody can help.
Not a practice that we like. We like it when people are given the choice to opt into services that might be sharing their personal data.
Sharing with your neighbors why a new service has some worried about privacy concerns. An Arizona woman makes a costly mistake.
We wanted to find a carrier that could obviously reduce the cost.
Only on ABC15 Mornings, the Let Joe Know team with a warning for all of us.
We already had a couple really killer tacos, like Asian-style street tacos on our menu. We said, it's just a natural progression to take those same ideas and put some new twists on it.
Plus, We're Open Arizona knew this morning how restaurants can survive by going virtual.
It's a glass half full outlook, right? And an inspiring story. Looking forward to sharing that with you on this Wednesday. First, we're happy to say hello and thank you for waking up with us. Kaylee O'Kelly in studio for ABC 15 Mornings. My friend Nick Saletti, social distancing and looking cozy from our newsroom.
That's right, yeah. I'm like, you don't know this, but I have a little heater up here.
Ooh.
That's why I like being up here. Actually, no, I'm just kidding. I wish I did, though. It's a good idea, though,
nice,
right? Or
yeah.
I could have Larry the dog up here, because he always keeps me warm. Hey, let's talk about that most accurate forecast with meteorologist Iris Hermosillo. Iris, the word of the day, chilly, I think, once again.
Yeah, for sure. And how about some freezes too? That's what we're waking up to in parts of the valley. So like yesterday, you're going to need that heavier jacket or coat as you step outside. So maybe grab that again this morning as temperatures have dropped into the 30s across most of the Phoenix metro area. Phoenix Sky Harbor down another degree, and we've been falling every hour with our temperature now at 41. I think we're going to make it back down into the upper 30s here in that 7 o'clock hour, which is when our sun comes up. So that'll be the coldest point in the day. But look at today's high. It is going to end up a little bit milder today, and our high puts us right near the average high for this time of year. So a cool 65 degrees near normal, gorgeous conditions with abundant sunshine. A quicker warm up today than tomorrow. We make it all the way to 67, but we're going to see more clouds tomorrow. Another storm system moving our way, and temperatures will drop slightly on Friday before we start a weekend warm up. So we're going to talk about how high those temperatures will go. Plus, this storm system will bring a chance for showers to parts of our state. I'll show you where in just a few minutes. For now, though, saying good morning to Chelsea Davis, who was showing us some flashing lights on some of our cameras earlier. What's going on, Chelsea?
Exactly, Iris. You nailed it. We have a couple crashes that are out there for the east side of town, which I'm going to get to here in just a second, but I want to show you first with our accident logger of traffic maps how the North Valley and West Valley look really nice. We have lots of green flows, only your normal slowing on I-10 approaching the stack and also I-17 around the Durango curve. Okay, let's go over to the east side of town. We have two different crashes on US 60. The first one is in the eastbound direction, the eastbound ramp that connects to southbound Loop 202, Super Red Tan. It's right there where Loop 202s kind of merge. The right lane is still blocked. It's not causing any slowdowns yet, so that's some good news. Same with this one. We're not tracking the main lanes having any big breaks, but US 60 eastbound at Stapley is going to be an area that you may want to reconsider exiting at because the off-ramp's partially blocked. You can exit sooner at Mesa Drive or even after that point at Gilbert Road. I'll let you know when all of that is clear.
All right, Chelsea, thank you so much. The COVID-19 vaccine rollout continues here in Arizona today. Healthcare workers among the first to get the Pfizer vaccine. We know Honor Health and Banner will start administering those vaccines to frontline workers starting tomorrow. Not far behind are those in nursing and assisted living facilities, and right now thousands of residents and staff members are preparing to get vaccinated as well. Our John Genovese following this for us today. Good morning.
Good morning, Kaylee. Yeah, this is a massive undertaking involving two of the largest pharmacy companies out there. And in less than 2 weeks, close to 30,000 residents and staff at long-term care facilities statewide are expected to start receiving either the Pfizer or Moderna vaccines. Now, CVS and Walgreens are coordinating much of the logistics when it comes to the distribution of those vaccines. And over the next 10 days, we're told the companies will be working with skilled nursing homes first, then assisted living, figuring figuring out how much of the vaccine is needed at each location, and then on December 28th, setting up vaccination clinics. Now, we know there is some hesitation out there, but state and healthcare leaders are hopeful this will all go smoothly. Many people will take part, and the most vulnerable in Arizona will start building immunity.
These vaccines have met all of the touch points. We know that they're effective. Most importantly, we know that they're safe.
And if everything goes well, then this time next year, I'll be getting ready to have a significant party for my staff and my guests and their families.
Now, everyone who gets the vaccine will need to have a signed consent form. Those pharmacy companies are working right now to communicate that point, and state leaders say when it comes to what facilities are prioritized, it really comes down to which ones of them get in those consent forms first. Guys.
It's certainly been a race, right? And a race to save lives. Our John Genovese live this morning. Thank you very much. Historic moments in our state as a World War II veteran inside the Phoenix VA got the vaccine. The Phoenix VA sharing video of this 94-year-old hero here, the first veteran of any era to get this vaccine. And the VA is telling us their distribution plan starts with frontline workers and veterans living inside their congregate care facility. It's a lot of information we know to try to keep track of when it comes to the COVID-19 vaccine across the board. And we want to try to make this easier for you. So just go to abc15.com/vaccine for all of our coverage on this and your latest updates.
The vaccines are needed as ICU beds are becoming more scarce across the state. Valleywise Health says their ICU hit 100% capacity yesterday. Will Humble, the former head of the Department of Health Services, is concerned that hospitals will likely hit a dire metric called crisis standards of care.
As you progress towards crisis standards of care, which is where I think we'll be around Christmas to New Year's time, then you're actually doing actual triage with patients and saying, look, we just don't have the staffing for this patient, and we have to compare this patient to our other patients, and do it's a grading scale, basically.
According to the state coronavirus dashboard, only about 150 ICU beds remain available across Arizona. Senator Mark Kelly expressing his concerns about the strain on our healthcare system during a phone call with Governor Doug Ducey. The new senator pushing for increased mitigation efforts to slow the spread. The leaders also discussed vaccine distribution and COVID-19 relief.
Well, pretty soon you'll be able to pick up a coronavirus test at the drugstore. The FDA has approved the first at-home test. It doesn't require a prescription either. And that kit includes a nasal swab and testing strip. It's going to cost you around $30. Initial supplies will be limited. New this morning, as we talk about education and the pandemic, Gilbert Public Schools announcing students will return to hybrid learning after winter break, and the governing board made that decision at last night's meeting. They say it's going to last for a week when school resumes January 5th. The district will then evaluate the data and make decisions for in-person learning on a school-by-school basis.
Here comes ABC15's Operation Santa Claus.
6:07 and helping Valley kids and families for the last 2 decades. Today is your last chance to take part in the 20th anniversary of our Operation Santa Claus donation drive, benefiting 5 amazing charities, including St. Mary's Food Bank. And this year there is so much need.
These are not normal times, and people who had great jobs all of a sudden are out of work.
People are so nice, and nobody makes it seem
is the
unsavory that you're there. And there's nothing shameful about needing help, especially right now. None of this is anyone's fault.
Yeah, and today is the last day to drop off donations. We're collecting non-perishable food items, new toys, and kids' clothing. You can take your items to Sanderson Ford or Lincoln, any UPS store, or donate online at givetotheclaus.com.
Well, Christmas is almost here, and you know what? So are those shipping deadlines. Up next here on ABC 15 Mornings, the major retailer just announcing the last days to place those orders. It's not too late without having to pay extra for shipping. Plus, new for you this morning, a grab and go. This time, chairs. A Grinch caught on camera, though, trying to ruin a Christmas for a grandma. He messed with the wrong one, though.
Thanks for watching ABC 15 Arizona, streaming 24/7 on Roku and these streaming devices.
Let's get to your top stories today. President-elect Joe Biden is expected to formally announce he is nominating Pete Buttigieg as transportation secretary. If the votes are there, the former mayor of South Bend, Indiana would be the first openly gay cabinet secretary confirmed by the Senate. Facebook is pausing its ban on political ads in Georgia. Early voting is underway and the two runoff races there will be determined which party controls the U.S. Senate. AAA predicts a 30% drop in holiday travel this year. It's expecting about 34 million fewer people will travel from December 23rd to January 3rd. That's compared to last year.
Here at almost 6:13, we are getting some new information on that early morning apartment fire we shared with you earlier here on ABC15 Mornings, and we continue with these live pictures. Crews there are mopping up the scene. This is 35th Avenue in Dunlap. We're told the fire broke out inside a unit on the ground floor, but 2 apartments above also now have smoke damage. We can also tell you that 10 people are now displaced. The Red Cross, like they always do, and we're grateful for this, they are there to help them out. The cause of that fire, as you might imagine, is still being investigated.
ABC 15 Desert Drive Time, sponsored by Accident Law Group.
All right, thanks, Kaylee. Chelsea Davis here, and let's talk about the roadways. Our Accident Law Group traffic maps look pretty good overall. Lots of green conditions, especially on the north side of town with Loop 101, I-17, the 303, State Route 74 also clear. Grand Avenue looking pretty nice, making your way into downtown. I-17, the 51, even I-10. I-17, you will see some breaks around the Durango curve, though, so just a heads up there. I did hear reports of a crash on I-10 in La Paz County. I'm not seeing much activity out there, but just a heads up, if there is anything off to the right shoulder, just move over. That's the law. Give them some space to respond. East Valley freeways are looking green. That doesn't mean they're necessarily clear, though. We have a couple crashes on US 60. This one's in the clearing. The eastbound ramp of US 60 to southbound Loop 202 Super Red Tan. The right lane still blocked there. It's not impacting the flows. Same with this one. We are still looking at green conditions for US 60 eastbound at Stapley, even though that off-ramp is partially blocked. You can still exit there, or you can exit at Mesa Drive or Gilbert Road instead. I'll let you know when everything is clear there, but for now, let's check in with meteorologist Iris and Rocio. It's chilly again. I've got my sweater on. I'm ready.
I think you're a good move, right? And I don't know about you, but I had a hard time getting out from under the covers this morning because it's so cold, and it's still cold. In fact, temperatures have been dropping the last few hours as they typically do because we see our temperatures bottom out right around sunrise. So this morning we're waking up to more freeze warnings again in those same areas that were under freeze warnings yesterday. So essentially temperatures are running pretty similar. If you needed that heavier jacket yesterday, you're going to need it again today. In northwest Pinal County, those freeze warnings in place until 10 a.m. and these alerts do include portions of Maricopa County, including portions of the Valley, areas just south of the Loop 202 in the Southeast Valley, like Sun Lakes and Queen Creek, under that freeze warning until 10 o'clock here this morning. Look at these temperatures. We're right at that freezing mark in Gilbert. But if you notice, we're near freezing in Chandler, Maricopa, and the Santan Valley. All 3 spots checking in at 33 degrees, just 1 degree above that freezing mark. And we could still drop to that freezing mark or a little bit lower here again as we approach sunrise, which happens at 7:26 this morning. 35, our temperature in Laveen. It's 37 now in Surprise. We're down to 36 in Peoria and 35 in Wickenburg. Meanwhile, a little bit milder in some of our foothills, Fountain Hills at 43, 40 in Cave Creek, and Anthem at 40. And that tends to happen as that cold air settles in to our valley floors. For Phoenix, Sky Harbor, it's 41 right now. But like yesterday, I do think we're going to drop back down to about 39 for a low in that 7 o'clock hour. So grab that hot drink as you're heading out the door. Don't burn yourself, but make sure you get something warm and cozy as you get ready to walk outside. 41, our temperature by 8 a.m. Now, of course, in northern Arizona, you'll need those extra layers. That temperature just at 10 degrees in Flagstaff, 8 degrees in Heber, and only 4 degrees right now in Heber. That's one of the coldest spots at this hour. But here's the good news. Even though we're going to start off cold this morning, this afternoon will be much more comfortable, even warmer than it was yesterday for much of northern Arizona, with a high of 45 in Flagstaff, 45 in Heber. We'll make it to 54 in Payson. Phoenix, a few degrees warmer than yesterday, up to 65, which puts us right at the average high for this time of year. As you look at those temperatures valley-wide, we're talking low to mid-60s today with 64 in Glendale, 65 in Goodyear, and we'll make it to 64 in Queen Creek. So here's how it breaks down by the hour. Again, the coldest point in the day will be that 7 o'clock hour, and then once that sun is up, it'll start to heat up the surface. Temperatures will start to rise. We'll be back to 60 degrees by 1 p.m. And then 65 will be our high. I think we'll hit that sometime in that 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock hour. Then we're right back down into the upper 50s by 7 p.m. And temperatures, they're trending up overall. We'll see a high of 65 today, then tomorrow up to 67. We do have a cold front coming through tomorrow, though. That's going to drop temperatures just slightly on Friday down to about 65. And then we warm up even more with the 70s making a comeback Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday of next week. Now, this cold front will bring more clouds and a chance for showers up north. We'll talk about that potential in the next half hour.
Okay, Iris, thank you. Only here on ABC 15 Mornings, 2 custom-made chairs stolen from the front porch of a woman in Phoenix. The crime caught on a security video cam, and a grandmother is now asking for help. Here's our Carla Navarrete.
It was kind of like a Christmas present for me and the family to have that. So it kind of took a little bit of Christmas away from me.
Just 3 weeks ago, Patty Rowan replaced these chairs on her front porch with these custom-made chairs. She says they were the icing on the cake after years of fixing up her Western-style home for her and her grandkids to enjoy.
Little wagon wheels on each side, and they're made out of wood, and they cost me a pretty penny. They were over $500.
On Sunday morning, before the sun even came up.
And I got out about 5:30. Go out to feed the animals, and the chairs were gone. The porch bandit picked them up and took them away.
Daughter Corrine says her hardworking mother's favorite chairs now gone.
It's devastating when you work hard and you save up for something that truly means something special to you, and then it gets taken away. It's devastating.
Patty filed a report with the sheriff's office. She's also reached out to her neighbors, asking them to keep an eye out for her beloved chairs. The only information on the suspect is this. He was wearing long shorts and a hoodie sweatshirt with the logo on the back.
He was medium build. He had to pick up these heavy wooden chairs, so he was pretty strong.
Patty is hopeful someone out there will recognize him or the chairs and get them back to where they belong.
Just a really neat feeling to be able to have something like that. They're my favorites. And I'm surely going to miss them. I don't know if I'm ever going to see them again.
This porch bandit may have gotten away with not only Patty's belongings, but another neighbor in the Joy Ranch neighborhood as well. That's near Carefree Highway and 16th Street. If you have any information, you're asked to call the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office at 602-876-TIPS. I'm Carla Navarrete for ABC 15 Arizona.
Carla, thank you. A mega playground just unveiled at Margaret T. Hance Park in downtown Phoenix. We were there for the official debut of the Fiesta Bowl play at Hance Park.
It's all part of a revitalization project for the park. The new play area has a little bit of everything, as you can see here. Slides, a rock wall, and so much more to keep them moving and having fun.
Looks like a lot of fun. Hey, it's a privacy concern that you may not even know about. New this morning, a warning for anybody with an Amazon Echo or a Ring camera doorbell.
And never sign anything right there on the spot. It's okay to say, hey, I need a little time. Ahead, the Rebound Arizona team with money-saving advice when it comes to contracts and, unfortunately, some broken promises, too.
A new feature from Amazon is raising privacy concerns. It's because it wants to share your Wi-Fi signal with your neighbors. Amazon is coming into our homes more each day. Remember the controversy over Amazon Key, where an Amazon delivery person gets a key to your front door to leave a package? Now comes the new Sidewalk service. If you and your neighbors have Ring doorbells, Amazon will share your Wi-Fi bandwidth to make sure everybody has a strong signal. But privacy groups are sounding the alarm. Business Insider says Amazon faces a privacy backlash for its Sidewalk feature, which turns Alexa devices into neighborhood Wi-Fi networks that owners have to opt out of. The nonprofit group Mozilla, which runs the Firefox web browser, doesn't like that Sidewalk will be automatically on when you buy a Ring or Echo.
Not a practice that we like. We like it when people are given the choice to opt into services that might be sharing their personal data.
Amazon insists there will be no spying between homes. Your neighbors can't watch your camera or listen in, but knowing they are on your Wi-Fi might be a little uneasy for some people. If you don't like the idea, you can check your Echo and Ring settings and turn it off.
Well, Walmart is announcing it's not too late to order those holiday gifts and get them to where they need to be before Christmas. You have until Saturday at 2 local time. That's to qualify for free 2-day shipping. December 21st, that's going to be here before we know it. That's the deadline for free next day shipping. And you can still place online orders from other places or ship your gifts to your guests or people that you love and adore. Just expect to pay more if you do want to guarantee it will get there by Christmas Eve. Forbes is out with its annual list of highest paid celebs. And coming in on top, that's Kylie Jenner. She brought in about $590 million between June of 2019 and May of this year. Most of that money coming from the sale of her Kylie Cosmetics line.
Her brother-in-law, Kanye West, coming in at number 2 with $170 million from his Yeezy clothing line and sneaker deal with Adidas.
Also in the top 10, Tyler Perry, LeBron James, and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
The Rock and I went to the same college.
Hey now.
University of Miami. A little shout out this morning. Hey, next
you.
at 6:30. When it comes to ghosts, seeing is not always believing. But over the past several months, a new concept might be reshaping the restaurant industry, helping local business owners survive.
Well, another vaccine is expected to be approved for emergency use this week, bringing another layer in the fight to stop COVID-19 spread. And coming up, just how many doses could be on the way.